excited to get back after it today. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to get on. But Pop, one of the nicknames we have for you here, you and I are kind of joking. Today we're talking about challenges when working from home, kind of in general. And so it's a good topic because there'll be a lot to talk about. But you had an interesting take on that. What's your favorite thing you found to help some of the challenges of working at home?
Well, the first couple of days I was at home working, I set up in my dining room, just sitting at the dining room table. And at the end of the first day, when I stood up, excuse me, I realized those chairs weren't made to be sat in for that long. So I obviously migrated to the office, which was set up better and has a decent chair. And my wife had brought home a cushion from work. And I probably never would have purchased one of those or used one even, except that it was there, she was in it. Well, I've fallen in love with that cushion. It's about 4 inches thick. It's contoured. It's a nice success. My favorite work at home accessory right now.
So there you go for the tech that knows how to set up everything technical. He needed a butt cushion. I really realized having some time at home, and I'll do this in the future. I don't have all the screens, didn't want to set up all the screens. I know we'll talk about that, but staying on one application, I'm able to focus more. I'm able to give my complete attention with no interruption to what I'm working on, and that's been nice.
I struggle a little bit with interruptions because we've got a 6-month-old puppy and my 23-year-old daughter's at home. So, but you have people coming in and out of your office at work as well. So it's not really all that. It's different distractions. It's not necessarily less.
Okay. Yeah. That was your decision to get a 6-month-old puppy when coronavirus hit. So let's jump into it. We're happy to be back. 2 weeks ago, we talked about challenges around communication when working remotely. I was happy we were able to discuss security last week, and this week's just general working challenges as you transition from a stable work environment at the office to your house. What does that look like? And Jeff, I think you can agree with some of the challenges we've seen from all the remote staff. The biggest one's internet speed, right? Or that's what they call it.
Yes, especially as I move around in their house.
Yeah,
because you've talked about how maybe you're set up for Wi-Fi in your living room and you can stream videos just fine on your TV, but that's not where you want to work. And when you move to the area where you want to work, your coverage isn't as good and your internet suffers.
Well, that's what everybody needs to realize, right? Is you've gone from a work environment, more than likely, you guys have a dedicated or great work internet connection, and your company's invested in wireless access throughout your whole facility. Man, you jump home and you, just like you said, you try to run away from your puppy, right? You go to the back room and you notice you have next to no connection or a very poor connection, right? And so what do you do about that? Well, Jeff, what I want to point out to everybody is you've probably been able to watch Netflix or Hulu in your living room with no problem. And now you're working. We covered this last week. I think the first call is to the internet provider. If you have, and you mentioned modems from Cox or AT&T that don't update, if you have a modem that's set there for 4 or 5 years, that could be the culprit. You could go do all this work. You can call and order more bandwidth. You can buy really expensive equipment, and it could have been your modem the entire time. So the first call should be to the internet provider. Past that, I'm excited. Wireless should be up to date, but the new wireless is very easy for home users. Used to, we'd have to run a cable and buy really expensive devices to help people work at home. Now they have mesh technology. So some of the Google technology is the best. I can set up a wireless access point right where the modem's at, and I can scan and set up 4 or 5 others all throughout my house, and I don't run into that problem of having spotty wireless in every single room.
Right. There's a lot of advancements in Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And last year I went and spent some money at Best Buy, bought a new router, took it home. I was amazed at how much better my coverage and my speed was just because I bought a new device.
Yeah, I've recently invested, I've got a router with some security on it, and I invested in mesh wireless behind it. And I just did the Google because I know a lot of people are going to invest in the Nest technology just so I could have some feedback. It's worked great. It was extremely easy to set up. So I want to transition really quick. One of the other challenges that I've seen is we send a lot of our clients home, and they have two really nice monitors in the office, and then they're remoting into their really nice computer back at the office from a laptop at home. The screen's really small. It's hard to work. They can't get into all 4 or 5 applications. What do you have to say to that?
It's easy to undervalue your monitors, but your eyes will thank you. You will have less fatigue. There are a lot of reasons to have good monitors. They're not that expensive. And so there are ways to identify the brightness, the quality of your monitor, but especially if you've got two, because a lot of times you'll have two and one of them will be bright and the other one won't be. There are almost always adjustments, whether it's a tab or a dial on the monitor, to turn the contrast and the brightness up. And you may need, if you need help, get help. Find somebody to help you learn how to adjust the brightness and the contrast to get the most out of it. Because maybe that's all you need is for your monitor to be adjusted, not for it to be replaced. But don't put up with a dim monitor that's hard on your eyes, or a small monitor. I mean, we've seen some people in the last year who still use tiny little CRT monitors.
Sitting about this close to them. I'd say too, if you don't have a monitor and you know you're going to work from home every once in a while, or you guys will be there for a while now, the $120 to $200 investment of a decent monitor from Best Buy is worth it. Before you go to Best Buy, it's nice to have a local tech shop to buy things from. Take pictures of the sides of your laptop so you can show the professionals at the store what the monitor inputs look like, whether you have a VGA, which you're going to need a blue cable, a DVI, which is the little yellow one, or HDMI cables for 1 or 2 monitors, so that you don't make a trip, buy a nice monitor, get home, and you're unable to connect from it. That'd be my piece of advice. The other thing I'd say when working at home from the pandemic, and we've talked about slow internet speed, I think it has to do with how we're looking at our monitors and what we're working on. Guys, you really don't need to be accessing 4 or 5 programs right now. If I get the modem updated, I get the best wireless in my house. I've had this happen. 10 o'clock in the morning, I can't run 2 programs. And it's because everybody in my neighborhood is at home now. They're all sharing that circuit, and that internet pipe's under such a load that I can't run my Outlook email at the same time I run my ConnectWise line of business application at the same time I open my Excel sheet.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables there, because it also may be an issue with your home PC. Your home PC maybe doesn't have as much juice as the PC at home if you didn't bring your work computer home. And we have clients that we red flag, you have to be real careful with, because they never close anything. And if you accidentally do something to restart their machine, it's an event.
Yeah.
It's a red alarm event.
And I'll do it. I'll throw somebody under the bus because I'm going to enjoy it. Corey Minner, one of my best friends, owns a wonderful company here in Tulsa. He does an excellent job, and he uses a computer like a 12-year-old. He has 14 or 15 YouTube pages open at the same time doing research. He's opened 500 emails, and they're all open and not closed. And his computer's slow, and he wants to know why. Well, over the last month of work, he's never closed anything. So that goes for your mobile device and your computer. Go back through and close all your browsing windows and all your emails if you're not actively working in them.
And people don't like to hear technicians say this, but restart it.
Yeah.
Restart it.
So, okay, we say restart it. When somebody calls in, we say, hey, have you checked that your computer's on? Those questions are kind of annoying, right? And a lot of times we don't understand the why behind them. What happens on the inside of a computer when you restart it?
It clears the memory. Everything starts fresh. And there is a difference between restarting and shutting down, because a restart doesn't refresh all of the hardware. But if you power it all the way off, let it sit for a minute, and then power it back on, that is a full restart. And sometimes if you're having issues with like a sound card or some hardware not working, a reboot won't fix it, but turning it off, turning it back on will.
So let's transition again, because we're working at home. We've covered some of the speed issues that people might have, right? We've given them some steps for that. Video conferencing. We use Teams, and we're jumping on Zoom meetings about every 30 minutes, guys. Jeff and I are in and out of them. And it's almost humorous what the person on the other side of the screen working from home looks like, right? Sitting in the wrong places at their home. Their cameras are at the wrong angles. It's so dark in the room, we can't even tell who they really are. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I've been that guy. I've been in my office with a window over here, and it's west facing. So in the mornings, the bright morning sunshine's coming right through that window. And so I have all this bright light on the right side of my face. And, all I needed to do is get up and close the blinds, but I like that light. So, but lighting is an issue. And where the light's coming from, if it's all behind you, you're not gonna look as good. Some people are more concerned about that than others.
Well, it's nice to have light on your face so you look like you're part of the meeting, right? I have a couple devices when I go live. I don't like to spend a lot of money. So for all of you out there that understand that you're going to be on these video conferencing meetings more often than not, Joby is called Joby. They're a brand, and they make all kinds of products for all these podcasters, all these people on these video conferences. You can get anything from a $40 stand for your iPhone to a little light that shines directly on your face and brightens you up that'll attach to the back of your computer. It's really, really cool. So Joby would be a solution for that. The sound quality is another one that's kind of difficult. Depending on the laptop you're working on, Jeff, we talked about yours. One of yours doesn't sound great at all. So some of the solutions there, if you Google it, buy a $400 headset. That's what they say, $400 and you're good to go. Right. I looked those up. The iPods are expensive too. The iPod Pros for $250 are absolutely amazing. And then the other one that got the top ratings was this Sound Liberty. It's a Bluetooth headset. So if your laptop has Bluetooth capability, it's Sound Liberty. It's $50. So on Amazon, I can get a noise canceling headset for $50, right? Helps me not hear the dog in the other room. And I can have better audio quality when I'm on those video conferences.
If I'm really serious about what I'm doing and there's stuff going on in the house, I have a good pair of over-the-ear headphones. If they're going to be on my head for more than an hour or so, those make a lot of difference in comfort. I like the over-the-ear headphones for that.
Yeah, they do. So, and times have changed for all of us. And that's what I'm kind of evaluating is as I see that I'm more focused for certain hours at home, even though I love being in front of people. Once we're allowed to be out and about as normal, I'll probably schedule some days or half days at home. And so I've invested in a monitor. I've invested in a light for my laptop. I've got a nice AirPod Pro headset to go in my ears when I'm at home. So I've made some of those adjustments. The last thing I'd say is my back was hurting the other day. My chair at my house is not the same as my chair at the office, right? And so, we've had those conversations, and if I'm going to be there a lot, it'd be nice to buy an office chair that's durable for the house, or I like the $300 attachment you just throw on top of the desk and stand up.
Yeah. I take my laptop and I go sit we have a tall counter in the kitchen, and I like that counter. I like being able to move around. We checked around. There's a lot of people writing articles. What I've learned now, since so many people are working from home, there's a couple of things that I found interesting. One of the things in the lists of things I've learned was jumpstart your day. And the guy who wrote the article talked about having a morning routine at work, and he didn't realize how entrenched he was and how important that was and how much it set the tone for his day. And so the little things that he or she routinely did to start their day at work,
that's a good point.
They realized they needed to replicate some of that at home, just to get back into that routine and have an actual start to the day. Another one was the be tech curious. And he said that he had discovered that there was a lot of technology that the company made available that he hadn't scratched the surface of. And I had that experience as well. We use Star-to-Star IP phone systems, and there's an app for our cell phones that help us with management options. And I've heard people talk about for 2 years plus how helpful that app, how great that app is. And I never bothered to install that on my cell phone.
So truly unknown technology.
Yeah, I was without my phone at home one day. And so I installed that app and got some help from Jeremy to get that all working on my cell phone, and found, wow, I can do just about everything I could do with my desk phone on my cell phone. So, there may be some technology available to you now that you're not using.
And I've had an easier time with that because I'm the one here at Newave responsible for a lot of the training, right? And I will say that, when it comes to Microsoft or Google, And a lot of this technology now, you get a lot of things built into all of them for free. And if you take the time to learn them, Jeff, you do. It makes streamlining working remotely from a coffee shop, wherever you're at, a lot easier. So take the time to do it. But all this wraps back really into what we talked about week one when we started talking about communication, was the preparation around working from home and looking at what are the processes and the things that make it comfortable to work from the office, and how do I replicate that back at my home office. And without it, it's a bunch of trial and error, and it's not pretty. It's wasteful. Some of the sessions downright don't work, which can be frustrating for you and your coworkers or your clients that you're trying to work with. And so really it's preparation. At this point, I'd say too, is some good reflection. I hope that you guys that tuned in, and I appreciate each one of you for taking some time to watch this, glean some great information around communication and process and preparation, really around the security pieces, and also around, what we've heard from all of our clients, as we've had serious business conversations, or just the, like you said, your rear end pad that's so nice, right? We have those conversations with clients too around, man, they just really don't like working from a laptop. What should I have done, or what should I do? My sound quality or my lighting's bad. What do you guys recommend? And man, so I'd encourage you. I hope this blessed you, but there are solutions for all those that are inexpensive as well. And watch out for the tech sites, because they are paid by big tech companies. And so when you see things that cost $2,000 or $500, and it's sure to fix what you're looking for, right? They're just running kind of a paid ad.
Yeah.
Right. There's $50 solutions for a lot of this. But I'm Kellen Cowan. Again, this is Jeff Brown. We want to do this 3-part series on working from home. I hope it's blessed you guys. If you have any other questions, and hit us up on Facebook here at Newave Solutions on any of our videos, and we'll answer those. You can get Jeff or I at sales@newwavesolutions.com, and you can always call us 918-289-2093. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.